This meeting is accessible to people with disabilities. Microphones or telephones will be used by all speakers. Large print materials are available upon advance request. If you would like either of these accommodations, please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833. The notice of discrimination rights and protections to beneficiaries with regard to the federal Title VI non-discrimination protections and the state non-discrimination protections is posted in this meeting room and is available on the Old Colony Planning Council website. Please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833 for more information. Thank you. Now we go to introductions, Bill. Roll call.
Yes, sir. Abington.
Johnstone. Yes.
Bruce Hughes.
A1.
Hello, Rick Jordan.
Rick, thank you. Bridgewater.
Shane O'Brien, Town Planner, Town of Bridgewater.
Thank you. Brockton. Duxbury. East Bridgewater. Easton.
Dayfield.
Thank you. Halifax. Hanover. Hanson.
Don Howard, Hanson.
Thanks, Don. Kingston. Pembroke. Plymouth. Plimpton. Stoughton. West Bridgewater. Whitman.
Present, Dan Salvucci.
Thank you. MassDOT District 5.
Barbara LaChance, present.
Thanks, Barbara. MassDOT Office of Transportation Planning. Brockton Area Transit.
Michael here, joined with Kelly and Emily.
Thank you. GATRA. Walk, Massachusetts. And Mass Bike. Okay, John, all set.
Thank you, Bill. We'll move on to agenda item 2, public comments. Do we have any public comments? Seeing none, go ahead, Bruce.
I just want to give you a heads up. I'm following the progress of the new Abington facilities. Great job. Good to see that going. And also good to hear about you're keeping track of the rotaries that you're going to do in Abington. And, so it's good to hear that.
Yes, sir. A lot of exciting stuff coming up here in Abington.
Yeah. I keep an eye on it.
Thank you, Bruce.
You're welcome, John.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Any more public comments? Seeing none, if it's all right with everyone, we're going to take items 6A and 7A out of order because we have a committee member who has a prior commitment who has to leave. So 6A is Bill, I believe.
Yep. Just give me a second. I'll give Sean a second to bring that up. Thanks, Sean. All right, so we have a for federal fiscal year 2026 to 2030 Transportation Improvement Program, which is our current TIP. We have both an adjustment and an amendment to discuss today. At the previous MPO meeting, they took both of these up. Adjustment 1 was endorsed, so that does not require any action from the JTC today. This adjustment 1 will be just kind of information only, but amendment 1 amendment 1 is currently out for a public view and comment period, and we would ask for a vote of approval today following as I discussed that. So on your screen at the top of the page, this is the adjustment that I spoke of. There are 2 items. Both these are Safe Streets for All projects that were added into the TIP. The first one is Abington Supplemental Planning and Demonstration Grant. That is in the total of about $377,000. And then in Brockton, we have Safety Pilot Program for 3 intersections on North Main Street, and that is in the total of $235,000. The MPO did endorse these adjustments as presented, and so that is all set. And So the next one is an amendment, and this does require a public review and comment period, which is ongoing now, and does require a vote of support from the Joint Transportation Committee. So starting at the bottom there, in Abington, we have a cost increase on the Hancock Street, Chestnut Street project. That cost went up about 1.75 million to just about $8.5 million. The good news with that is we do have room in the regional target for this year, so we are able to absorb that cost increase. Next page. And then in Brockton, the downtown Brockton improvements project, that is the raise grant in a total of 9.8 million. That is being added into the TIP. Also in Brockton, the downtown Brockton transportation technology project in a total of about 1.5 million. That is being added into the TIP. And then in Plymouth, the culvert projects to remove 2 culverts at the town stream brook and construct 1 new one.
Wow.
And that is in the total of 2.8 million, and that is being added into the TIP. So this is as I said, this is currently out for a public review and comment period. The proposed amendment is attached in your document, but at this time, if there are, I'll answer any questions anybody has, but and then I would ask the chair to request a roll call vote to approve this amendment.
Sounds good, Bill. Thank you. Can we get a roll call to approve amendment number 1 of the TIP?
Do you need a motion?
Yes, please.
Motion, Dan Salvucci.
Second,
All right, Abington,
Yes.
Avon,
Yes.
Bridgewater,
Yes.
Brockton, Duxbury, East Bridgewater, Easton,
Yes.
Halifax, Hanover, Hanson,
yes.
Kingston, Pembroke, Plymouth, Plimpton, Stoughton, West Bridgewater, and Whitman,
Yes.
Brockton Area Transit,
Yes.
Gatra, MassDOT District 5,
Yes.
MassDOT OTP, Walk, Massachusetts, and Mass Bike.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Moving on to item 7A, federal fiscal year 2026 Unified Planning Work Program. Public review and comment period for amendment number 1.
Thank you, Chair. So similar to as Bill talked about, an amendment to the Transportation Improvement Program that was released by the MPO to a comment period. The MPO also reviewed an amendment to the Unified Planning Work Program and released an amendment also. So what this amendment does, it programs in a federal discretionary grant award that we received for the Federal Highway Prioritization Process Pilot Program. It's almost a $2 million planning grant for OCPC. So what this requires us to do is to add this to the appendices of the Unified Planning Work Program. It doesn't affect the fiscal constraint. It's more of an informational item, but where it is a new item, it does require an amendment. And what this grant will do is help us to review our evaluation criteria and prioritization process for the Transportation Improvement Program, the Long Range Plan, and the Unified Planning Work Program. We did release an RFP for consultant services as part of this program, and it's posted on Combai's website. And then also I dropped a link in the chat to a name that we're calling this, we renamed it PRISM. So there's a link to our webpage, and it also has the RFP on that webpage. So we're here to answer any questions, and if it's the pleasure of the committee, we would appreciate an approval of this so we can report back to the MPO.
Thank you, Charlie. Any questions for Charlie? Seeing none, we will move to a vote to approve amendment number 1.
I motion to approve. Dan from Whitman.
Second, Michael Amber.
Thank you.
Abington,
Yes.
Yes.
Avon,
Yes.
Bridgewater,
Yes.
Brockton, Duxbury, East Bridgewater, Easton,
Yes.
Halifax, Hanover, Hanson,
yes,
Kingston, Pembroke, Plymouth, Plimpton, Stoughton, West Bridgewater, Whitman.
Yes.
Thank you. Brockton Area Transit,
Yes.
Gatra, MassDOT District 5,
Yes.
MassDOT OTP, Walk Massachusetts, and Mass Bike.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Moving back up to agenda item number 3, minutes of October 2nd, 2025 meeting.
I'll make that motion. Dan from Whitman.
Hanson will second it.
You get a roll call, Bill?
Yes, sir. Abington,
Yes.
Avon, Bridgewater,
Yes.
Brockton, Duxbury, East Bridgewater, Easton,
Yes.
Halifax, Hanover, Hanson,
Yes,
Kingston, Pembroke, Plymouth, Plimpton, Stoughton, West Bridgewater, Whitman,
Yes.
Brockton Area Transit,
Yes.
Gatra, MassDOT District 5,
Yes.
MassDOT OTP, Walk Massachusetts, and Mass Bike.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Moving on to agenda item number 4, communications. I believe that's Sean.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. First item on the communications packet for this month is Route 18 at Route 123 intersection improvements in the town of Abington. There is a virtual design public hearing being held Thursday, December 11th at 6:30 p.m. For more information and to register, please visit the hyperlink in the staff report. The next is a citizen planner training collaborative fall/winter workshop series. The roles and responsibilities of planning and zoning boards will be held Wednesday, November 12th at 6 p.m. Planning with community support, Tuesday, December 2nd at 5 p.m. Working with Mass General Law, Chapter 40B, Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Creating master plans, Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Introduction to the subdivision control law and A&R, Thursday, January 15th at 5 p.m. Adopting and revising rules and regulations, January 20th at 5:30 p.m. Use of design review, January 28th at 5 p.m. All of these workshops are on Zoom. The fee is $35. Registration is required. Please visit the hyperlink in the staff report for more information. The next is a 2026 Mass Trails grant announcement. The next round is now open. It was open as of November 1st. Eligible applicants are public entities, communities, nonprofits, and Native nations. On November 20th from noon to 1:30, there is a webinar on this grant round via Microsoft Teams. Please visit the hyperlinks in the staff report for more information. The next announcement is for the Mass Safe Routes to School program. It's a bike rack grant. Safe Routes to School is once again announcing the grant for the 25 to 26 school year. The application period will close November 14th. Please visit the hyperlinks in the staff report for more information. The next announcement is from the Federal Funds and Infrastructure Office. The next partnership meeting will be held November 25th at 2 p.m. To register for the meeting, please visit the hyperlink in the staff report. The 5th annual OCPC Summit will be held Tuesday, December 2nd at the Jones Trading Post in Kingston from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. For more information and to register, please visit the hyperlink in the staff report. And that is communications, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Sean. Moving on to item 5, reports. A, Brockton Area Regional Transit Authority, BAT.
Thank you, Chair. 3 updates today. First, as usual, our update on ridership. We completed 342,000 fixed route trips for the month of October, which is a good
Nice.
number, but one that we're hoping to sustain through November. That would be a really good sign if we can keep that up. Second is we inherited Bridgewater's community transit grant to run microtransit for their community, and that is set to launch in the next week or 2. So stay tuned for that. But that is great news for both Bridgewater and the surrounding region. And then finally, we're working hard to continue to provide good outreach, better customer amenities throughout our service area. So if you have any locations that you were interested in getting a shelter or other amenities, please let us know.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions for Mike? Seeing none, we move on to item 5B, Greater Attleboro Taunton Regional Transit Authority, GATRA. Is anyone from GATRA here?
I do not see anybody from GATRA, but if somebody does log on, I will let you know.
Thank you, Sean. Moving on to item 7B, Federal Fiscal Year 2028 Long Range Transportation Plan. I, goals, objectives, and performance targets.
Bill, you're muted.
Thanks, Sean. I told you I do that all the time. Yeah. So, as most of you know by now, we've undertaken the update to our long-range transportation plan. This will be a multi-year projects. So, and throughout the coming next couple of years, we'll be bringing periodic updates to this committee on the development of this plan. But today, we'll talk about the goals of the LRTP and also introduce the public survey that we launched just this week. So the goals of the LRTP, these are what help frame the development of the plan. Everything that goes into the plan should be aimed at achieving these goals. So you can see in the bolted list there. So the first one, obviously safety. We want a safe transportation system that minimizes risk for serious injuries and fatalities on all modes of the system, that incorporates principles, the safe system approach, and also helps us achieve both our Vision Zero goals as well as safety performance targets on PM1. Next, we want a transparent and fair transportation planning process that's open and welcome to all. We one that we the goal for us that supports economic vitality in the region. So the transportation system that supports a robust economy, security. Also, we want a system that is secure to both physical and outside forces. Next page. Accessibility. We want to strive for as close to a fully accessible transportation system as possible, that all persons in the region are able to access fairly and equally. A clean environment. We want a transportation system that's leaving the environment in a better condition that exists when improvements are made. So, through, for example, good greenhouse gas reductions, improved wastewater management, those sort of things. Resiliency. We want to system has resilience to physical forces. Want to maintain a state of good repair across the system, and an efficient system that maximizes use of available resources and isn't duplicating efforts, and just making the most of every resource that comes into the region and into the Commonwealth. So those are the goals of the system. Currently, we're developing and refining the objectives that will go towards achieving these goals, as well as performance targets that we will use to measure the progress of these goals. There are 3 federally required sets of performance targets: PM1, which is just safety; PM2, which is state of good repair; and PM3, which is system reliability. And those are all
Very important, yeah.
sets of targets that are updated throughout the coming months. And so those will be updates that we bring to this committee as well for review and approval. And then finally, we are doing a survey, as we always do. You can see the link on your on a page there. We strongly encourage you to, when you have a chance, to take the time to fill out the survey, as it does help us shape how this plan is developed. The good news is that this survey will be open for a while. It will be open through the end of next June 2026. So it'll be open for a while, and there'll be multiple postings about it. We will have a dedicated web page on our website for this plan, which will include the links to that survey. And that is my update.
Thank you, Bill. We have a question from Alexis asking if we could put the hyperlink to the survey in the chat.
Yep, can do that.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions or comments for Bill? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 7C, Old Colony Congestion Management Process. Review of park and ride utilization.
Yes, that is me, Mr. Chair. And just before I get started, I have put the link for the survey in the chat if anybody wishes to take the survey.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. So every April and October here at Old Colony, we, as part of our congestion management process, we do utilization counts at 15 commuter rail stations and 5 park and ride lots in and immediately adjacent to our region. And this is the summary of the most recent data collection that we had completed just last week. So first and foremost, we'll get started with commuter rail. We were hoping to see an increase in utilization just to get back to that trend. This past April yielded an overall decrease over the prior count from October of 2024. But this year we did see a 1% increase. There was 3,654 total vehicles, and compared to the 5-year pre-COVID average, it was 76.8% of it. And just for the second time since COVID, and for the first time in a year, we had 2 commuter rail stations that met the congested threshold of 85% or greater.
Wow.
So here is the results. And the 2 congested facilities were Canton Junction and Stoughton. Canton Junction was just under 90%, and Stoughton was just over 86% utilized for the day that we did their collections. And then here's a look at the 10-year utilization table. Any fields that are highlighted in yellow are at or above the 85% congested threshold. As you can see, pre-COVID, there were multiple stations that we would routinely see at that threshold. However, since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, only 2 of them have returned to seeing that many vehicles present at these stations. And then as kind of a visual, here is a total utilization of all of our commuter rail stations that we visit, going back to the 5 previous years before COVID and the 5 years that we have visited since COVID, as well as the percent utilization for the locations. And then kind of in a summary and looking ahead, 10 out of the 15 stations saw an increase over the April 2025 count. The increases ranged from the low end at 0.7% at the Kingston station to a 24.7% at the Middleborough station, which is one of the new stations from the South Coast Rail project. Overall, the Stoughton line increased 1%. The Middleborough Lakeville line, currently the Fall River New Bedford line increased 5.3%, and the Kingston line decreased slightly, but 2.4%. As previously mentioned, the overall increase was 1%. The highest vehicle count and utilization were both yielded at Canton Junction, 685 vehicles and 89.9% utilized. The combined utilization of all of the stations was 52.2%, which, for reference, is the third highest since the beginning of the pandemic, and compared to the 5-year pre-pandemic average of 68.3%. And then switching over to park and rides, again, we were hoping to see a return to an increase in utilization. The previous two counts had decreases over the prior count, and unfortunately, the decrease was 3.1% under the April 2025 count. The total vehicles counted were 662 vehicles, with 55.1% of the 5-year pre-COVID average. And here is the results of all of the 5 park and ride lots that we visited. 3 on the Route 3 corridor, Rockland, Plymouth, and Bourne, and then 2 on the Route 24 corridor, West Bridgewater and Bridgewater. And of all these lots that we visit, only one does not have any kind of bus service, and that is the Bridgewater location. And then another look, just like the commuter rail, we'll look at the 10-year table that we produce every year when we do these data collections. And as you can see, there used to be 2 additional locations along Route 3 that we used to visit, but they have since closed. The Pembroke location closed in early 2019, and then the Kingston closed in early 2022. And then a look at the total utilization of all of our facilities that we visit. And the orange line is the 5-year pre-COVID average. And then same thing with percent utilization. And then in summary and looking ahead, 2 out of the 5 lots had an increase over the April count from earlier this year. Bourne was up 2.7%, and Bridgewater was up technically 100%. It had 12 vehicles compared to 6 that was counted at the April count. The Route 3 corridor saw a 2.9% decrease, and then the Route 24 saw a 4% decrease with an overall of 3.1% down. The highest vehicle count and utilization, similar to the commuter rail, was seen at the same location. The Bourne Park and Ride, just off of the Bourne Bridge. 301 vehicles were counted with a utilization of 79.8%, and the combined utilization was 52.5%. And that is my presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do, Dan from Whitman.
Yes, go ahead, Dan.
Just curious, do you think in the future we will get up to back pre-COVID as far as use of buses, transportation?
It's unknown at this time. I mean, with how many businesses that have gone either full remote or continue to go hybrid, the need for the buses especially has, the trend has definitely changed since before COVID. I mean, commuter rail has seen, quite the return.
Yeah.
Just looking at these numbers, like I said, the Canton Junction was the first congested facility since the beginning of the pandemic and has, hit the 85% threshold. The last 5 counts, and then Stoughton 2 of the last 3 counts. I mean, commuter rail has definitely seems to have gotten, has seen a higher return to demand than the park and ride. But it is, it should be noted that for the West Bridgewater Park and Ride, they used to have a bus service. I believe it was the Bloom bus service that primarily was geared towards peak, morning and afternoon rush hour. But the service that they have now is kind of evenly spread out during the day. So in terms of people utilizing that park and ride for work, it doesn't seem to be as much of a desirable location as it used to with the bus service that they used to have that is no longer provided at the West Bridgewater location.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions for Sean? I see one. We have a question in the chat from Alan, asking to provide the link to this report into the chat. Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Sean. Any more questions or comments for Sean? Seeing none, we'll move to agenda item 7D, federal fiscal year 2027 to 2031 Transportation Improvement Program, TIP, Development Schedule and Universe of Projects.
Thank you, Chair. So it's that time of year again where we start developing our next tip, and as John just said, is the federal fiscal year 2027 through 2031. So this page just kind of reminds everyone what this development schedule is. So in the coming weeks, you all will get an email from me, and I'll check in with you about projects in your communities. The ones that are programmed, I'll ask how design is coming along. I'll also ask about priority for projects that aren't programmed. Then typically in December, I'll invite municipalities and their design engineers to come to this committee to provide an update on projects that are currently programmed in the TIP. Then moving beyond that, in January, that is when we get our financial guidance from the state to confirm the financial outlook for the time frame of this TIP. And then in the coming weeks after that, we'll start to really develop the TIP in earnest. Usually towards the end of January or early February, that is when we have TIP Readiness Day. TIP Readiness Day is an annual consultation between the MPOs in the state, where we go project by project and determine if projects are good to be programmed where they are, or if they need to be moved. And then after that, that's when we develop we develop scenarios for programming the TIP. So typically, we aim to have about 3 different potential planning scenarios for this 5-year TIP, which will then go to the MPO in March. They will select a preferred set of projects, and that will be the set of projects that is used for the TIP document itself, which will then be completed in draft form by April, at which time the MPO will release to a public review and comment period. And then, fingers crossed, assuming everything goes as planned in May, that is when we would have an endorsed TIP. So it's, starting at this point, it's roughly about a 6-month development plan. It does go quickly. And then, I'm not going to run through these line by line, but also included in your staff report is our current universe of projects. So these are all the projects that have gone before Project Review Committee and have been approved, whether they are currently programmed or not, and contains the current state of the projects to the best of our knowledge of the cost, design status, and whatnot. So I encourage you all to review that at your leisure and ask me if you have any questions. You can always contact me by email or phone. I love discussing projects in the TIP. So that is my update.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions or comments for Bill? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 8, other business. A, community local technical assistance studies. I think that's you again, Bill.
Yes, sir. So we have one new project request that is from the town of Halifax that is to assist the town in their application for a heavy commercial vehicle exclusion zone on Old Plymouth Street, a very small section of Old Plymouth Street. So that is currently in development. We're currently helping the town with that. And then we conducted, along with MassDOT and the town of Plymouth, we conducted a road safety audit last month at the intersection of Route 3A and Beaver Dam Road and White Horse Road in Plymouth. And the final report for that is currently in development. And that is my update for LTA.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions for Bill? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 8B, staff reviews on ENFs, EIRs, and NPCs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we have one new project in the town of Plymouth, Long Beach seawall and revetment reconstruction. This is an environmental notification form. This project involves the reconstruction of an existing concrete seawall and stone revetment located at the southern end of Long Beach and along Ryder Way in Plymouth. The purpose of the reconstruction project is to restore coastal protection, enhance coastal resiliency structures, and improve beach access. Comments are due by November 12th. And then projects under review. First one in Plimpton for 123 and 125 West Street, single family homes. This is a single environmental impact report. And this project is in regards to the construction of 2 single family homes on respective lots off West Street. The homes will be serviced by individual Title V septic systems and private wells. Next, we have one certificate for the town of Plymouth. This is for the Plymouth Harbor Access Facility improvements. And this certificate states that this project does require a single environmental impact report. And finally, we have one public notice for the town of Halifax. It is a notice of application and issuance of a draft groundwater discharge permit. And this is in regards to the Halifax Mobile Homes Estates. And that is my MEPA report.
Thank you, Kyle. Any questions for Kyle? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 8C, regional concerns and local community transportation issues.
John,
Yes, sir.
I mentioned 2 things quickly.
Yes, sir, Bruce.
Always appreciate OCPC's continuing support of CTPC. I'm a long-term board member. We've got a great fall program, and we're putting together a conference for, put this on your calendar, March 21st, 2026 at Holy Cross, the Hogan Center. And the other thing quickly I wanted to mention was that Ray Garino and I were longtime friends. We met in September of '85 when we started work at Vanessang and Breslin, and we became very close personal friends. Our family were very close. Our wives are close. Went to all his kids' significant events in his life. His death was a very good, tremendous shock to all of us. And it was great to see great OCPC turnout and support at both his wake and his funeral. And I know that his wife Tina really appreciates everything that Mary and has done to help Tina as she gets through this thing. So Ray's a great guy, and we all miss him very much.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
Any other concerns or transportation issues?
Hi, yes, this is Barbara Chance down in District 5. I just wanted to mention dates for PRC. I just sent an email out this morning. We have confirmed dates. So the next PRC meeting is December 17th. We have 2 meetings prior to that. We have one internal one that's on the 2nd and one that's on the 11th for pre-PSC on the 11th. The submission deadline is the 17th. I know that's not much time to get projects in, but I guess, they're trying to fit in the holidays and other stuff before we do the meeting. Originally, they were thinking about doing a January meeting, but they did push it back to December again. So my apologies. Dates were just confirmed this week. So I need to have all projects in on the 7th by the 17th, basically. If there's, my hard deadline, I have to have everything to headquarters by the 21st. So If anybody has any, concerns or issues or needs help with anything through Map It, please feel free to reach out. Be more than happy to help anybody initiate some projects. Thank you.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Any more concerns? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 9, adjournment. What, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Hey, Cap, you want us over there by Mario? You want to pick those guys up?
Can I get a second, please?
That's the negative. We're gonna stop.
Second.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have
everyone.
a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.